Well, good morning and welcome to 10 something. What time is it? 10. Yeah, 10:45. So, I'm only 45 minutes later getting started than I said I would be. And that makes me feel really bad because it makes me feel like I'm not a person of integrity, that I can't follow through with what I say I'm going to do. Well, that's not really the case. Life happens. There are times things happen that you have to adjust. You have to change what you're doing. Pardon me if I'm looking away while I'm adjusting some volumes. Anyhow, glad you're with me today. And you've probably seen the show title. It's kind of a long one. Winning. It's called Win at 10 something. Exclamation mark. Running in circles, getting off of the merry-go-round of life. I spend a lot of time preparing and thinking and praying about the Winning Ways show and what I want to share. And I woke up this morning with this thought in my mind. You've got to quit walking around the same mountain. You got to quit doing what you've always done if you want what you've never had. It's important that we understand that many times we are where we are in life. In fact, it's not many times, it's all the time. We are where we are in life because of our choices, because of our actions, because of our words, because we are not following the dream or vision that God has given us. We live our lives accidentally instead of on purpose. It's almost as if nothing matters in life except just living. We don't have the right priorities. We haven't set goals. We haven't written our vision out. We haven't made a plan. And so we're stuck. And the thought for this came one day when I was sitting staring at a treadmill in the room I was in. And here is this expensive piece of equipment that actually would have been beneficial to my health, to my being more physically fit. And the reason that treadmill was there was because I intended to use it. That was my intention. And I think the first few days that it was there, that I did use it. But then, you know, I got distracted from working out every day, from walking on the treadmill. And now, I don't have a treadmill anymore, but at that time, it just became a place where I could hang clothes. And every now and then I'd go around, take all the clothes off, hang them up. Who caused laziness is what caused me to use it as a clothes hanger. But I'd go around and take the clothes off, put them on hangers, put them back up in the closet, and make the say it out loud. Generally, I'm going to start using this treadmill. Well, the fact is, I never did, and I've often wondered. I often wondered why do I not use the treadmill? Probably because I would rather sit than walk. And that's not healthy, I know. I don't do that anymore. We're talking about some time ago in my life. And one of the things I noticed about when I did walk on a treadmill is you really never got anywhere. You could walk for an hour and never leave the room. You could turn the TV on and you could watch a sitcom. In an hour, you could watch two sitcoms and be entertained. I guess there was some value that was being extracted from your 1 hour of watching a sitcom. Was better than sitting on a couch and eating popcorn or drinking a Coke or whatever. A lot of people live their lives as if they are either on a treadmill or a merry-go-round. Remember going to the park as a kid and the little merry-go-rounds they had? I don't see those very often when I drive by a city park. Probably because, parents got sue happy, and if their kid got hurt on it, they sued the city, and it just became a financial albatross to even have a merry-go-round, something kids would enjoy in a city park. That says a lot about our culture, doesn't it? That's sad. But Holly and I went to Spokane a few months ago, and before winter, and we're walking around, and they had this giant merry-go-round, the one with the horses on it. You get and sit on it, and you pay for it, and it goes around in a circle. Carousel, I guess they called it. And it's a pretty famous carousel. It was really a cool carousel. Well, we decided to go on it. She talked me into it. And so we paid our money, got on the carousel, sat on the horses, and started, they go up and down and all around. And it lasted for about 7, 8 minutes. I mean, wasn't a short ride. It was a lot of fun. We had fun, took pictures, goofing off, pretending we were younger than what we are. The crazy thing was the whole thing was packed. I mean, there wasn't an empty horse on this carousel. But the scenery didn't change much, and you just kept going by the same things over and over again. The guy that was running it sat in a booth that was off to the side of the carousel, and every time you'd go around, you're going up and down, going around, and you'd come face to face with this guy, every minute or so, however many seconds it was. The scenery didn't change that much. The scenery in front of you was the people's behinds, their backs, their backside. When you're on a merry-go-round or you are walking on a treadmill, the scenery doesn't change. You're active, you're busy, you're doing something, but you're not getting anywhere. And that's the way a lot of us live our lives. We're unproductive, we're not seeing the results we could see, we're not maximizing or even minimizing hardly our potential. We're not using what God has given us. We're not pursuing what we've been blessed with. Our dreams and visions are just that, dreams and visions. And for most of us, our dreams and visions are nightmares or fantasies. Why? Because we're stuck on a merry-go-round. We're running in circles. We're stuck on a treadmill, active, exerting energy, sweating, but never going anywhere, never getting out of the room. I think the reason I hated the treadmill at times, or got to the point where I didn't want to use a treadmill, was because I like a change of scenery. So Holly and I started walking. And this was when we were in Phoenix, and I was a little younger and healthier, and I didn't struggle to walk like I kind of struggle with walking distances at all now. I'm out of breath after I walked about 100 feet, it seems like. But I'm working on that. But the reason I enjoyed the outdoors, or, a year or so ago, a year and a half ago when we first moved up here, we went to an area down by Elk River here in Idaho, and there was a park, and there were 3 different waterfalls that you could go and visit. And so you had to hike through the mountains, through these trails, to get to where these waterfalls were. And it was worth it. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be worth it when we started out, because I was wiped out, tired, hurting, wanting to sit down. And I just kept pushing, had to get a walking stick, kept pushing. And when I finally got to where I was going, to those where those waterfalls were, you know, there was three of them, and they were separated by a fairly good distance. So you had to go to the first one. We went to the furthest away, and then the next one, and then the one closest to us. It was worth the walk. It was worth the hike. It was worth the energy and effort that I put into it to make my wife feel good because that's something she wanted to do, was to go look at these waterfalls, and I would go back. It was a lot of fun, but you know, as long as you're standing in one place in your life, you'll never accomplish, or accomplish everything that you could. The Bible teaches us in Proverbs 29, is it 17 or 17:29? Let me look at it real quick. Fortunately, I have Proverbs open all the time. But in Proverbs 7, let's see, Proverbs must be 29. I'm going to find it. Proverbs 29:18, the Bible teaches us, people who do not accept divine guidance, they run wild. Another translation, this is from the NLT, the New King James Version says they run in circles. One says they cast off restraint. Without a vision, the King James Version says people perish. They run in circles. They not getting anywhere. Always busy, but never getting anywhere. It's kind of like, you know what I'm talking, the treadmill of life. You're busy, you're doing things, you've got all these things. You're tired at the end of the day because you've done so much, but then when you look back on the day, you really didn't get anything done. It was just busy stuff. Some people never reach their dreams, never see their visions become a reality because they're on a treadmill of life, and they're stuck doing other things that don't even help them get any closer to the realization of their dreams or their goals. Trying to please other people or doing what other people want them to do. Without a vision, people perish. They run in circles, one translation says. They run wildly. They cast off restraint. They're not disciplined, in other words. Without a vision. Vision helps you to be more disciplined. If you have a vision of your health, what your optimum health looks like, a vision will drive you to do what you don't want to do to have what you haven't got. You've got to do what you don't want to do, what is uncomfortable, what you would rather not do to get where you want to be in life. You know, most people, we live in a lottery mentality society now. You know, people, you know, I saw lines at the stores here in Idaho of people buying lottery tickets when it was $2 billion. There's no telling how much money was spent by people trying to win something that they didn't have a chance to win. But the idea, the thought, oh, I might be the lucky one. I could be the person. This could be the day. This could be the time. And so they spent all kinds of money trying to get something that was way out of reach, that they would never probably, I mean, chances of them winning are very, very minimal, obviously. People, we live in this society of just wanting everything right now. We don't want to have to work for it. We don't want to have to put forth any effort. We don't want to get out of our comfort zone. We just want to be comfortable. And so we're stuck in this place of never really achieving or accomplishing anything. How do you get off of the merry-go-round of life? Well, it starts with having a vision, because if you don't have a vision for your life and where you want to go and what you want to accomplish, you're going to live somebody else's vision. You're going to live somebody else's dream. You're going to be constantly falling short of living the life that you want to live. Now, I'm interested because I don't have anyone, doesn't say that anyone's watching this. And so I'm interested to see if this is even broadcasting. So I've got to check this out. I should set this up to where I can look at it every time I do a live stream. But I'm going to find out right now. Let's see. No, not what I want. Let's go here. Yeah, I'm live. Wow, interesting. Just don't see a whole lot of people viewing right now. Guess this is one people are going to catch on the flip flop, on the watch it later. But I was been doing some study on this, and I found something that was really interesting, and that is 13 reasons why. This was the article's title, 13 reasons why you will never be successful. And I got to thinking about it, and these are the 13 reasons why people get stuck on the treadmill of life, why they never accomplish anything, why they are constantly on either a treadmill or a merry-go-round, going in circles, busy, active, but never getting anywhere. 13 reasons. You know, because if you're not successful, there's a reason. Do you know why the odds of becoming a success in life, a big success, are so low? It's pretty easy, because it's insanely tough and hard. I mean, you can't coast to success. Winning the lottery is not success. Success is the accomplishment, the progressive accomplishment of a worthwhile goal or dream. That's what true success is. True success for the believer is being who God created you to be and doing what God created you to do and accomplishing the mission God has for your life. And I believe all of us have a mission. We have an objective, something God wants us to do with our lives. We are not on this planet just to take up space. So the odds of becoming a success in the eyes of most people in the world is insane, is so low because it's so hard. But I believe success is still possible. I mean, it's hard because we don't want to be disciplined. We don't want to push ourselves. We don't want to stick with something until we see it become a reality. We want to snap our fingers and everything instantly appears that we want, but nothing, no dream, no accomplishment has ever occurred by somebody just wishing for it to happen. The Bible doesn't say without a wish people perish. It says without a vision people perish. They cast off restraint. They run in circles. They perish. They're destroyed. So when I got to looking at my life, I realized that I can't really blame anybody for where I'm at in life. This is my doing, my choices, my efforts, my lack of efforts, my lack of making the right decisions, my act of consistency and persistence is the reasons why I and everyone else are where we are in life. So what are 13 things? Number one, this is what they found when they did the research as to why people aren't successful. One, they push off responsibility. And that's why socialism is so popular, and people want other people to pay their way because they don't want responsibility. So number one, if you're going to be successful, if you're going to see your vision become a reality, you're going to have to be responsible. You're responsible for writing the vision and making it plain so that you can run with it. You're the responsible for setting goals. You're responsible for making a plan. You're responsible for taking action. You're responsible for not quitting until you hit your goal. So, number one, the reason people perish or the reason people fail in life is because they don't take responsibility. Number two, the second reason they found was procrastination. Well, I'm going to get to it one of these days. Your intention is to do it today, but you get busy doing something else. It's a little more fun. And so you put up, well, I can do it tomorrow, procrastinate. And then you just procrastinate your life away. You never accomplish anything. You never enjoy the success you could enjoy. You never do fulfill the purpose God created you for. The third reason was people are perfectionists. If I can't do it and do it perfect, I'm not going to do it at all. And that's something I've struggled with. You know, I when I first started live streaming, I wanted everything to be perfect, and I still want everything to be as close to perfect as I can. But I realize that things happen, and everything's not going to be perfect. But if you're a perfectionist, you can't do anything. You don't feel like you're finished doing anything until all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, and everything, the color scheme is perfect, and everything is perfect. There really is no such thing as perfection, right? You do know that. Perfection is a figment of our imagination. Because seen things that I thought was perfect until I saw something else that was better than what that was. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect. And so that's not as perfect. Or if you look at something that you think is perfect long enough, you'll find an imperfection. So people aren't successful because they're perfectionists. Well, if I can't do it, if I don't have, and this is what had me stuck. I don't have the right equipment, if I don't have the right set, if I don't have this, if I don't have that. And I've worked hard to get these things that I have. There's other things other pieces of equipment that I want that will make the show even better, that will help me to reach more people, all that stuff. But I've finally got to the place where it was like God said, just do it. And Sean Cannell, who is the leader of Think Media on YouTube, and just a powerful company for helping people live stream and have the right equipment and all. He's a Christian man, a great guy. His saying was, just hit record. Just hit record. You know, I would sit there and stare at my camera for 20 or 30 minutes, afraid to go live. And finally, it's just hit record. Just hit start. So now with the software that I use for broadcasting my live stream, I just have to hit start broadcast. And then I hit end broadcast. And I remember the first time I hit start broadcast and I stared at a camera. And I think I sat there for a few seconds. Like, what do I do now? I started talking. Now, it's back to where it was easy, like when I did radio. Radio was actually tougher to do than live streaming or videos because you were just talking to a microphone. Now I'm a microphone and a camera, you know, but so people, I wouldn't start because I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted the perfect intro, the perfect everything. Imperfection in what you're doing is what makes things real many times. Number four, the fourth thing was people are afraid of being criticized. Can't take criticism, so they never even start. Or they fail, they stop because people criticize it. Listen, critics are a dime a dozen. You're going to have you're going to always have critics. You simply have to deal with them. You have to realize that these people that are criticizing you have never really done anything either. At least you're trying. They tried and gave up. Well, I tried. I tell you, I tried and it was too hard. And I'm going to tell you, what you're doing is not going to work. It's not going to fly. I admire people that start businesses. I admire people that go for their dreams. Like a young man down in one of the towns around us, Kendrick, starting a restaurant. He's young. He's 23, college degree, business, computer science. You know, he has a passion for food, and he started a restaurant. And he's blessed because he brought Holly on as the general manager, who has tons of experience in the restaurant industry. But and there's critics going, well, he'll never make it. I'll tell you what, you know, almost all restaurants fail within 1 year. I think it's like 97% of restaurants fail in their first year. So Holly knows that, and that's why he hired Holly. She's working with him, going, "Hey, we have to do these things so we don't fail in the first year." And even if he failed, I'm going to tell you something. I admire him because he had the guts to try. Most people's dreams never get off the drawing board. They're never even written down. It's stuck in their mind, but they never write it down. They never create a vision board. They never create something to aim at. And then they wonder, why am I stuck on the treadmill of life? Why does it seem like I'm just going in circles? Why is it that nothing good is happening in my life? These are things research has shown that are the reasons why people never succeed in life. They don't accomplish what they could accomplish. Number 5, they're afraid of failure. And the very thing they fear ends up coming on them. The thing that I greatly feared has come upon me. Fear is a powerful force. It's the diametric opposite of Bible faith. Faith and fear run on separate tracks in opposite directions. You can't be fearful and have faith at the same time. What you fear will happen in your life. What you faith will happen in your life. You can either believe positively and full of faith based on the promises of God, or you can believe fearfully. They're both belief systems. The fear of failure causes more people to fail than anything else. And then when it happens, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. They go, well, see, I knew it wouldn't happen. Yeah, you believed it and spoke it and acted it into existence. Number 6, people aren't successful. This one was crazy how they put this, because you're just darn lazy. They just don't want to put forth the effort. We want great success without much effort. Well, success takes effort. The 7th reason is people lack originality and creativity. Some people just, they've buried in the dark, deep recesses of their mind the creativity they had when they were younger. Do you remember when you were young? If you're my age, we didn't have all the stuff that we have now. We had to be creative. We made things. We made toy guns. We made toys. I remember as a kid in Cub Scouts making a little race car. Forget what it's called now. Pinewood Derby car. My dad helped me. We would whittle things. I made candles. I sold candles. As a 13, 14-year-old kid, I had a steady stream of income coming in from my candle business, set up in an old office and used to be office in our home in Gladewater, Texas. And I made candles, and I sold them to my teachers, and I sold them to my neighbors, and I sold them to my relatives, and I sold them to anybody that would buy one. They were beautiful, and they smelled good. So when I was young, I had all kinds of creativity and originality. And as we get older, we lose that. You need to recapture that. You might be stuck on the treadmill of life or the merry-go-round of life simply because you've lost your originality and creativity. You've got to get it back. You have the mind of Christ. That's something Holly said to me some time ago that I've never forgotten. I said, why is it that you're not afraid to try to do anything? You think you can really do just about anything. She says, because if somebody else did it, I can do it. If God helped somebody else, God will help me to do that. And I've watched her accomplish some great things. And it's because she didn't get stuck in this place. Well, I tried, but it didn't work, so I'm not going to. No, she would keep looking until she found the right thing. She is a very creative and original thinker. I got to hurry through these. Number 8, you play it solo. You don't get anyone to walk with you to help you. 2 are better than 1, the Bible says, and the threefold cord is not easily broken. A lot of people fail in life because they don't have anyone else to help them. They play it solo. If I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it by myself. Get other people involved. You know, people will get involved in what you're doing if you're passionate enough about it. Number 9, people fail and aren't successful in life because they're ungrateful. They're not happy with what they have. Being grateful increases your level of happiness, your levels of productivity. When you're grateful, you're happy. When you're happy, you're more productive. So you need to start adopting an attitude of gratitude. And if needed, do what I do. Keep a gratitude journal. Read it. Write it. Every day you should start with gratitude. Number 10, people fail because you fail to learn from your mistakes is another reason. They fail to learn from their mistakes. If you made a mistake, don't make the same mistake again. Wisdom is not making the same mistake over and over and over and over again. Oh, I tried this and it didn't work. Well, quit trying that. It's not going to work. Learn from your mistakes, learn from your errors, learn from your shortcomings when it comes to reaching your goals. Why didn't this goal work? Well, I tried this and it didn't work. So don't try it with the new goal. Learn from your mistakes. The best education you can get is making a mistake because now you know how not to do it. That was what it's reputed that Thomas Edison said. You know, it's either Thomas Edison or Abe Lincoln or Henry Ford. A lot of quotes about productivity. But somebody said to him after he had failed so many times at trying to find the filament for the light bulb, you know, they said, talk to him about how can you keep going after all these failures. He said, what failures? I didn't fail. I learned 10,000 things that wouldn't work. He learned from his mistakes. He learned, okay, this didn't work. That didn't work. Or we tried this didn't work. It almost worked, but not quite. So you learn from your mistakes. A lot of people, you know, go into sales or go into starting a business and give up because, you know, it got hard because they made some mistakes and never learned from them. And so they just wallowed in the mistakes the rest of their life and never accomplished anything. Number 11. The 11th reason people don't succeed is they don't believe in themselves. He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. Well, nobody in our family's ever done it. I have the wrong color skin. I don't have a good enough education. You don't believe in yourself. Stop it. You're who God made you to be. He equipped you with everything you need to succeed in life, to win in life, to be victorious, to get off the treadmill or the merry-go-round of life, to quit running in circles. So they don't believe in themselves. That's number 11. Number 12, they lack consistency. They don't stick with anything. Consistency is crucial to your success. You've got to develop the habit of showing up all the time, whether you feel like it or not. I knew I had other things I had to get taken care of this morning, and I slept in. I woke up in the middle of the night. I had a severe nosebleed. It was awful warm and dry in our room, and I had a nosebleed. I got up and went to the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and I had blood all over the top of my head. I took a picture. So this morning I showed the picture to Holly. She goes, "Why would you take a picture of that?" I said, "Because I wanted you to see that I had a real bad nosebleed in the middle of the night." I had other things I needed to do today, and you know, my intention and goal is to be on here at 10 o'clock. Well, I was at 10:45 today, so it's when at 10 something. But I've becoming more and more consistent and persistent in doing this. You lack consistency. The 13th thing that keeps people from being successful is they quit growing. Absolutely quit growing. They just give up. They don't even try. They don't learn new things. They don't try new things. So these things will keep you stuck on the treadmill of life. Well, how do you get off of it? By doing the exact opposite of what I just taught. By doing the exact opposite of what the research found is why people don't succeed in life. Do what successful people do. Find a mentor, find a teacher, read a book, watch a Winning Ways show where I share with you principles and ideas and things you can do to make your life better, to change your life, to set you on a new trajectory, to raise you to a new level. And then do the work. Make the commitment. Do what it takes to win in life. Do what it takes to be successful. Do what it takes to accomplish the dream and or see the dream and vision God has given you realized and accomplished. Keep your eyes on the prize. Don't look to the left or to the right. Don't look at all the distractions. That would have been a good thing. They probably didn't look at this, but I think another thing I could add to that list of 13 is number 14, distractions. People are easily distracted. It's called in business and called especially in people starting a new business, it's called the shiny object syndrome, the bright shiny object syndrome, where this is what I'm focused on. And then all of a sudden you read about something or hear about something or see something that looks like a better way to do it. And you run over there and you start doing that. And then it doesn't work. And then there's another bright shiny. It's kind of like squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Distractions. It's easy to get distracted. There's plenty to distract you. Set aside a certain amount of time every day that you work on your vision, you work on your dream, and you don't let anything else deter you unless it is an absolute emergency. You discipline yourself. You have to discipline yourself to do what you should do to have the results that you want to have and that you're capable of having. Hallelujah. Well, I hope you got something out of this. You don't have to stay on the treadmill just busy but not getting anywhere, or the merry-go-round going in circles but never accomplishing anything. No, you can get off the merry-go-round, you can get off the treadmill, you can get out of the lazy boy, and you can get busy working on your dream, working on the vision, working on your calling, what God has called you to do, what God created you to do, the problem that God created you to solve. Start solving it, and you'll start experiencing success. So, this was fun. This was fun. I don't know if anybody else needed it, but I needed this. I really did. Stop going around and around the mountain. That was the word God woke me up this morning about the children of Israel. They just, for 40 years, they walked around the same mountain. They didn't go into the promised land, so God said, until everyone over the age of 20 that left Egypt dies, you guys are going to stay in the wilderness. And they walked around for the same mountain for 40 years until the last person died. And then God said, now go north. Now you don't have to walk around the mountain anymore. You can go in the direction of your promised land. So if you keep walking in circles, around and around and around and around, and you can do it for years, you'll never get to your promised land. Maybe there's some things in your life that need to die. I'm not talking about people. Maybe you need to get rid of some of the habits, ideas, all kinds of other things, activities that are keeping you from your promised land. Maybe they have to die off before you can go forward. But you don't have to constantly be going around and around and around. You can go forward and possess what God says is yours. Amen. Thanks for watching. I'll be back again later, either today or tomorrow. For tomorrow for sure. Well, what is tomorrow? Is tomorrow Saturday? Usually don't do a show on Saturday, but I think I need to make up for a couple. So I'll probably do a show tomorrow morning. Well, it's up in the air. It depends on what Holly has planned for me. I guess there are some things we have to get done tomorrow. I'll be back soon. I'll be back Monday for sure with Win at 10. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week. And may do I don't really know what all is going to happen the rest of the day. So I may do a show tonight, may not. May talk Holly into doing a show with me. That would be fun. I love you guys. God bless you. Thanks for watching, and I will be back later.